Wouldn't it be wonderful if there was only one source of all our problems? If there was only one source of all our problems, all we have to do is to fix that one source to be able to improve all other areas in our lives. I mean, we won't have to spend so much time, money, and energy in trying to fix the problem independently. We would have so much peace of mind knowing that we're doing what is really best, which is fixing that one source to improve all other areas in our lives. My name is Pearl Oko and you're welcome to my channel. Here we talk about mental health, self-awareness and personal development, holistic living and also spirituality. And today I will be telling you the one source of all illnesses and diseases. Now, first of all, let's talk about the different eras of healing. Before mankind knew anything about medicines and nutrition and other, recent source of healing, all they could do was prayer. They had to conduct different practices. They did different practices, rituals, pray to deities. During the Greek mythology, for example, they believed that Apollo was like the one source of healing, and so they would conduct some rituals, ceremonies, have some objects and all this fetish stuff that they used in conducting rituals for healing, and that was all they knew back then. And then they believed that there was a deity that would be intervening or that would be sending down power or healing on them. And till this very day, people still seek God as a one source of all healing by simply praying. Most people believe that the power is in the praying itself. Some believe that there's a supernatural being who is intervening for us. Others believe that power flow through the belief in healing itself. And then medicine has ruled this out, saying that, calling it the placebo effect, which simply means being healed simply because you believe, the mind has believed that it will be healed. However, I think this practice is still very much valid and shouldn't be discounted. Now, coming on a more physical level, it didn't take long for the discovery for herbs, leaves, roots, twigs to be discovered as a source of treatment. China has always been known, right from time, to be using herbs and vitamins and supplements for their treatments. And I think it has made a major comeback in this 21st century because now a lot of people have discovered how to use natural remedies in treating their illnesses through roots, fruits, supplements, vitamins. For example, you have the holistic healers and you have the naturopaths. For example. And so there was a constant use of herbs and natural remedies to heal diseases and illnesses, which I think is one of the major reasons why our grandparents really stayed for long, to be very honest, if we're thinking about that. Now this leads us to the next era, which is the era of medicine, the drug and the chemical era. I call it chemical because that's basically what it is. I mean, how these drugs were developed is that they find a herb that has benefits, right? And then they break down the herbs and find the active ingredients. Now, how they go ahead to make the drug is that they alter these active ingredients, which is basically not natural. Like, people are really obsessed with taking medicines, pills, even to this very day. And because it gives like an instant relief. I mean, everyone wants that instant relief from their illnesses and their diseases. And people might think there's absolutely nothing wrong with constantly taking drugs, but the organic system of the body was designed to deal with only organic materials. And the truth is that drugs, medicines, they're not organic. So people lack patience in allowing the body do what it's actually designed to do, which is basically healing itself. Now, to continue our journey, we'll take a look at surgery. Man has dabbled with surgery for centuries. Right until the discovery of anesthesia, surgeries were performed on people based on their level of pain. Based on the level of pain that they could tolerate. Let's say, for instance, if someone had a growth in their feet back then, the physicians would have to get people to hold them down while they cut their legs off with a saw or a knife or whatever, and it was usually really painful. And I think they used alcohol then as an anesthetic. And so it was up until anesthesia was discovered that surgery became much more easier. And then the purpose of surgery then was to remove something that was life-threatening from the body. Nevertheless, I think surgery has really helped in curbing a lot of life-threatening diseases from going round throughout the whole body to destroy other organs. And that being said, not only do we now have surgeries for removing life-threatening issues or growths or whatever, we now have the cosmetic surgery that has been booming. Cosmetic surgery is basically for enhancing, like beauty. Now down to the final era that we are in now. Guys, it's actually raining, but the sound of the rain might be entering my mic, but I'm sure that you guys can hear me, so just in case. The latest era that we are in now, this era has been discovered by the greatest scientist of all time, Albert Einstein, and it has been approved by some other scientists, and it has been validated and has been made available to the public, and I think people are beginning to know about it. And before I say what it is, I would drop a quote first from one of those great minds, and it says, and I quote, "Future medicine will be based on controlling energy in the body." Professor William Taylor of Stanford University. Yes, energy is the ultimate form of healing right now for me, basically. And like I said before, body is energy, we are energy. This body is energy that vibrates on a certain frequency depending on our emotions, our thoughts, and our moods. Everything around us is energy, basically vibrating at different frequencies. And in my previous video, I talked about how you can use energy in healing from an emotional trauma. So we won't be talking about how you can use energy in healing from a disease right now, because what we're trying to get down to is the one source of all illnesses. So, but needless to say, energy is like the future of health. Now, the way all health problems are almost being diagnosed is through something called the Symptom Complex. When your doctor or your physician takes note of your symptoms, the symptoms you have while you're sick, they go ahead to consult their book or a chart or their past experiences to know what most likely the problem is. And when they have come up with something, that's like what diagnosis is, they now ask themselves, what best way can we treat this problem with our standard of practice? Now, doctors can use surgery, medications, and alternative healthcare providers can use supplements, roots, herbs, not necessarily to treat the disease, but to support optimal health, to allow your body to do what it's designed to do, which is basically healing itself. And then you have the counselors and the therapists that use behavioral techniques in aiding or supporting the immune system or your mental health. So basically, the symptom complex involves 3 stages, which is the presentation of symptoms, the diagnosis based on the symptoms that has been presented, and then the treatment. There are literally so many possibilities for diagnosis and treatment based on the practitioner in question. And when you talk about health issues, you talk about your physical health and then your mental health. It becomes so complicated and a little bit controversial because then there are different experts that disagree and agree on a lot of things. And if you want to understand what I'm saying, go to the internet and type a certain disease. For instance, say type symptoms of cancer. You definitely see headache, for real, feeling weak and tired, feeling dizzy. And then if you go ahead to also type the symptoms of symptoms of a body pain or body ache, or symptoms of depression, even, you'd see headache, you'd see feeling weak, you almost see the same symptoms for each illness or each disease. And so it becomes really discouraging, and it becomes really confusing, it becomes controversial. And then just as you see so many different symptoms and so many diagnoses, you would also see so many different treatments to it from different practitioners. You might see while you see a solution on one site, you would also see another site contradicting itself, or another site stating the side effects or the disadvantage of this other solution. So you see there's so many solution, or there's so many treatments or so many methods of treatments from different practitioners online, and this can be really controversial. It can be confusing, and it can make one to spend so much time, energy and money before arriving at the very one solution to their problem, or the very best method that works for them at that particular time. And so you see that finding the symptoms and solutions to your health problem can really be complicated, especially if you're looking online. Like for me, when I was really sick in 2019, I have so many cards from different hospitals I had visited. I went to the ENT, I saw a dentist, I saw a neurologist, I saw a maxillofacial surgeon, my God. And for every time I visited a particular doctor and presented my results from, seeing the previous one, they usually frowned or probably didn't even get it, or felt that the person didn't do their findings well. It was just super confusing. It was discouraging, and I almost ran mad. It's really like disheartening when you have to struggle with a particular diagnosis for the problem, or a particular treatment for your problem. But then here's the catch: if you go back to the web, in as much as there's so many things, there's so many disagreements and contradictions from different healthcare practitioners, you'd notice that there's actually one thing that all of them agree on, and it's the fact that all health problems originate from one thing, which is stress. Basically, stress is the one problem and the one source of all illnesses and diseases, for real. In fact, over the past 10 to 15 years, stress has been universally accepted as to having a huge link to every illnesses and diseases. I mean, stress can come from any situation that makes you feel angry, anxious, and frustrated. And like I talked about in my video, how to heal from emotional trauma in minutes, what is stressful to one person might not be stressful to another person. So for every time we have a health issue, what we should be asking ourselves is, what stress is causing this, and how can I fix it? But before that, the bigger question should be, what exactly is stress in the body? In my next video, I will be showing you how stress causes illnesses and diseases in the body. And so if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, and also do not forget to comment and share. See you guys next time.